Hello everybody, today I'm going to read Ruskin Bond Getting Granny's Glasses. Chapter 1. Granny could hear the distant roar of the river and smell the pine needles beneath her feet and feel the presence of her grandson, Money. But she couldn't see the river or the trees, and of her grandson she could only make out his fuzzy hair and sometimes when he was very close, his blackberry eyes and the gleam of his teeth when he smiled. Granny wore a pair of old glasses. She'd been wearing them for well over 10 years, but her eyes had grown steadily weaker, and the glasses had grown older. They were now scratched and spotted, and there were very little things she could see through them. Still, they were better than nothing. Without them, everything was just a topsy-turvy blur. Of course, Granny knew her way about the house and the fields, and on a clear day she could see the mountains, the mighty Himalayan snow peaks, striding away into the sky. But it was felt by Money and his father that it was high time Granny had her eyes tested and got herself new glasses. "Well, you know we can't get them in the village," said Granny. Money said, "You'll have to go to the eye hospital in Missouri. That's the nearest town." "But that's a 2-day journey," protested Granny. "First I'd have to walk to Nain Market, 12 miles at least, spend the night there at your uncle's place, and then catch a bus for the rest of the journey. You know how I hate buses. And it's 10 years since I walked all the way to Missouri. That was when I had these glasses made." "Well, it's still there," said Money's father. "What is?" "Missouri." "And the eye hospital?" "That too." "Well, my eyes are not too bad, really," said Granny, looking for excuses. She did not feel like going far from the village. In particular, she did not want to be parted from Money. He was 11 and quite capable of looking after himself, but Granny had brought him up ever since his mother had died when he was only a year old. She was his nanny, maternal grandmother, and had cared for the boy and father, cows and hens, and the household all these years with great energy and devotion. Even her failing eyesight hadn't prevented her from milking the cows, or preparing meals or harvesting the corn. "I can manage quite well," she said. "As long as I can see what's right in front of me, there's no problem. I know you've got a ball in your hand, Money. Please don't bounce it off the cow." "It's not a ball, Granny. It's an apple." "Oh, is it?" said Granny, recovering quickly from her mistake. "Never mind. Just don't bounce it off the cow. And don't eat too many apples." Chapter 2. "Now listen," said Money's father sternly. "I know you don't want to go anywhere, but you're not sending you off on your own. I'll take you to Missouri." "And leave Money here by himself? How could you even think of doing that?" "Then I'll take you to Missouri," said Money eagerly. "We can leave father on his own, can't we? I've been to Missouri before with my school friends. I know where we can stay. But—" He paused a moment and looked doubtfully from his father to his grandmother. "You wouldn't be able to walk all the way to Nain, would you, Granny?" "Of course I can walk," replied Granny. "I may be going blind, but there's nothing wrong with my legs." That was true enough. Only the day before they found Granny in a walnut tree, tossing walnuts not very accurately into a large basket on the ground. "But you're nearly 70, Granny," said Money. "What has that got to do with it? And besides, it's downhill to Nain." "And uphill coming back," Money reminded. "Uphill's easier," said Granny. Now that she knew Money might be accompanying her, she was more than ready to make the journey. The monsoon rains had begun, and in front of the small stone house a clutter of giant dahlias reared their heads. Money had seen them growing in Nain and had brought some bulbs home. "These are big flowers, Granny," he'd said. "You'll be able to see them better." And, and she could indeed see the dahlias, splashes of red and yellow against the old stone of the cottage walls. "Looking at them now," Granny said, Missouri will get some seeds and bulbs, and a new bell for the white cow, and a pullover for your father, and shoes for you. Look, there's nothing much left on the ones you're wearing." "Now, just a minute," interrupted Money's father. "Are you going there to have your eyes tested, or are you going on a shopping expedition? I've got only 100 rupees to spare. You'll have to manage with that." "We'll manage," said Money. "We'll sleep at the posh shelter." "No, we won't," said Granny. "I've got 50 rupees of my own. We'll stay in a hotel." This is the end of our part 1 story, Getting Granny's Glasses. Tomorrow I shall read the second, and day after I shall read the third. Goodbye.